So I'm going to call Daisy Ridley Ripper Ridley, and that's because she's ripped a hole in Rian Johnson. So Daisy Ridley was having an interview and she was asked based on the fans' cold reaction towards the Last Jedi movie. And she's basically said that the criticism is fair. So the USA Today interviewed her and asked if she was surprised by the film's lukewarm audience reception. And Daisy Ridley said, "Everyone's going to have an opinion now on the internet, but I also think it's fair." So she's saying that it's fair for people to criticise The Last Jedi. She said, "If people hold something incredibly dear and think they know how it should be, and it's not like that, it's fair for people to think they were doing wrong. It doesn't mean they were. Ultimately, Ryan's a filmmaker and one person can't dictate how a film is supposed to be, but freedom of expression, sure." So what it appears she's saying is, she's saying that the criticism of The Last Jedi is fair and people should criticise it, and she's almost agreeing with people who are disliking The Last Jedi. Now this is quite dramatic because Daisy Ridley has finished filming scenes for Star Wars. So she's essentially finished working on that franchise. The next stage for her is perhaps do some reshoots and also the marketing for the final film. But now she's come out and agreed that the criticism is fair. And look, I'm very surprised by this because Rian Johnson, if you look at his IMDb page, is still listed as making an untitled Star Wars movie. And it's almost been confirmed that Rian Johnson is going to make a Star Wars movie. So you have the lead character, because that's what Rey is. Rey is the lead character of the current trilogy, and the actress playing that role has come out and said the criticism of the fans is fair. The real respect I have for Daisy Ridley in this scenario is that she's agreeing or understanding that the fans are very passionate about Star Wars, and if Star Wars fans aren't given what they want or what they expect, it's only fair for Star Wars fans to criticise Star Wars or what the people are doing. I'm really surprised by this, and also is that Daisy Ridley will look for a career in other movies, and some producers may see this form of criticism as a negative because they don't want Daisy Ridley to go and work on another franchise, then end up criticising that franchise. So it appears here that she did try to backtrack. So here she says, Ryan's a filmmaker and one person can't dictate how a film is supposed to be, but freedom of expression, sure. So she tried to backtrack, and perhaps understandably, because, you know, these Hollywood actresses and actors, they do have to be very careful about what they say. If they're in an absolutely terrible movie, they won't come out and publicly say it because it's not a professional thing to do. They're still working as a job, and they have to work continuously with different businesses in order to have a successful career. Basically all about image. Daisy Ridley has to be very conscious of her image. Doesn't want to be seen as somebody who criticises the people that she's working with, yet that's what's happened. And it just throws massive shade on Star Wars trilogy. Now if Rian Johnson, it says here that he's working on one episode, so if Rian Johnson is going to make just one more Star Wars movie or an entire trilogy, it hasn't really been confirmed. But I'm really surprised, and is this Ripper Ridley? This woman's ripped into Rian Johnson and agreed with the Star Wars fans who were criticising The Last Jedi. And Lucasfilm are now trying to put up an image that everything's okay, and this is just another smash or another hole in that false image that everything within Star Wars is okay. And I just have a lot of respect for Daisy Ridley coming out and do this, so that's what I'm going to call her, Ripper Ridley. Now I haven't made any videos recently because I've been working on this, and it's actually a guide on how you can become a professional video game tester. Now the reason I'm looking into this is because making YouTube videos is becoming more and more risky. More and more YouTubers and people making YouTube videos are being demonetized, and I'm concerned that if I'm ever demonetized, I've got no way of trying to make an income. So I'm looking into other ways of making money, and there appears to be ways that you can work as a video game tester at home. And I actually know somebody who's tested smartphone games in the past and made money doing it in his spare time. So I made this guide. If you're interested in it, I'll leave a link to it, and I'm going to provide updates. So I'm currently working on this. I've only got about 3 or 4 pages in this complete guide. But if you're interested in becoming a professional video game tester, I'll put this guide out there, and if you want to use it and make some money, more than welcome. And I'm going to update it. I'm also going to try and find job opportunities around the world. So if you want to read this guide and also receive job opportunities that you can apply for to become a professional video game tester, then I'll leave a link to this also. So if you are interested in this and you're interested in making money testing video games, this might be really interesting to you also. So if you like this video, please also like and subscribe.